Hi, I'm Kathryn Basham, and my husband and I are proud parents of a recent Warren Central graduate. We also have one more child in the Warren Township Schools, and today I am here with Dr. Hanson, the Superintendent of Warren Township Schools, and Matt Parkinson, CFO of Warren Township Schools. I have a few questions today for you regarding the upcoming referendum, which is up for vote on May 2nd primary. I'm going to start with you, Matt. I am hearing a lot about referendums lately in Indiana and here in Marion County. Why is that, and can you share what a referendum is?
A referendum has been a key part of the school finance landscape for about 15 years since the implementation of property tax caps. An operating referendum, like the one we're running, is used to replace revenue lost to the caps and to supplement revenue so that we can provide great services to our kids. Here at MSD Warren Township, we've lost a little over $14 million to the caps over the last 4 years, and that's impacting our ability to pay for all the great services we want to provide to our kids. So we're running a referendum in 2023 in large part to make sure that we have that revenue available to serve our kids.
One more question. When did MSD Warren Township run a referendum, and what type of referendum was it, and how much was it for?
Sure. So we last ran a referendum in 2018. It was an operating referendum, just like our 2023 referendum is. There are two types of referenda available. School districts can run an operating referendum like we have, or a capital referendum used to finance construction projects. We've never done the capital one, and we're not this cycle either. We've only ever run an operating referendum.
What type of program is the current referendum paying for?
Yeah, sure. So the current referendum is paying for really 5 areas. It's school safety, teacher and staff retention, transportation, student learning, and technology. We're running the 2023 referendum on the same 5 categories that we ran in 2018.
Okay, wonderful. One more question. How does MSD Warren Township's current referendum rate compare to other Marion County districts?
Sure. So the referendum rate that we ran on in 2018 was for a maximum of 21 cents. That's 21 cents per $100 of taxable assessed value. 9 school districts in Marion County have passed a referendum, either capital or operating. So in 2022, of those 9 school districts, we had the lowest referendum rate at 21 cents. The rate that we're taking to voters this spring is for a maximum of 30 cents.
Okay. Dr. Hanson, you have the next question. Has the referendum that passed in 2018 expired?
The referendum we passed in 2018 took effect in the calendar year 2019. Referendums are on an 8-year cycle, so we are currently in the 5th year of that 8-year cycle. In May, we're going to go to our voters and ask them to repeal and replace the current referendum, which will do 2 things for us. It will reset that 8-year timeline, and it will give us the additional revenue needed for the programming and personnel that we are currently applying that for.
Okay. For both of you, what challenges does the district face in 2023 and in the future?
We recently came out of the pandemic, and I've often said the pandemic didn't necessarily create new challenges for us. It magnified the ones that we already were working through. Warren Township has prioritized meeting the needs of our families and our students, and we continue to do that. We saw coming out of the pandemic that attendance and academics took a big dip. So we're working really hard trying to re-engage with our students, re-engage with our families. So ultimately, the student outcomes, their academics can get back to a place where we want them to be. The other challenge that we are facing right now is staff retention and recruitment. It's certainly an employee's market. So, school systems are not immune to that. We are challenged with remaining competitive to staff our classrooms, staff our buses, staff all of our areas. So that's a big challenge for us as well.
Yeah, and financially, we're really living in pretty unique times as a school system. Over the last year, we've seen major cost increases in utilities. So we're expecting to pay about $1 million more this school year than last school year on things like electricity and heating. The price of school buses is up more than $30,000 per bus, and we buy 12 or 13 of those per year. We can go down the list: diesel fuel, propane fuel, property insurance. We've got about 3 million square feet under roof, and it costs us over $1 million a year to provide insurance over that. Student devices. So it's a challenging time financially for a school system. And again, that's part of why we're running the referendum, We want to make sure that we have the resources needed to make sure that our students are in a position to succeed.
Okay. Matt, MSD Warren Township has made significant investments in renovating 6 elementary schools, Warren Central High School, and the Walker Career Center. Is the referendum being used to fund these new construction projects?
It's a great question. The answer is no. We are not using referendum dollars to pay for our construction projects. So there's 2 types of referenda. There's a capital referendum used for construction. Many of our peers have gone through that. And there's an operating referendum, which is what we're asking for the community's support on. We've been funding the renovations at our 6 elementary schools, Warren Central, Walker Career Center, all using regular property tax dollars within the property tax caps.
Okay. Dr. Hanson, as you know, I'm a parent of a Warren alum, class of 2022, and I currently have a student in Warren Central High School. As a taxpayer and a parent, I see the benefit of investing in the referendum. What would the benefit be for a taxpayer who does not have children in the district?
Yeah, great question. Firmly, I believe that high quality education benefits everyone in the community, benefits our society. So I would say that we would ask our families who maybe don't have kids in the system or did at one time to continue to invest in the current generation and future generations for high quality education. Home values are directly tied to the quality of schools. Luckily in Warren Township we've seen an increase in home values. We feel we play a part in that. And then as the second largest employer here on the east side, we recognize that we are the employer for a lot of our residents in Warren Township.
Matt, will my taxes go up 29.4% due to the referendum?
Yeah, it's a really good question. That question comes from the wording of the question that voters are going to see at the ballot this spring. So there's been a change in the state law since we ran a referendum in 2018. When we ran at that time, the question said essentially, can the school district pay for the 5 things we're intending to pay for at a maximum rate of 21 cents? The question that voters are going to see this spring is going to have the same beginning, but at the end it's going to say the impact on a residence will be 29.4%, the impact on a business property will be 21.7%. Those percentages are confusing, I think, to a lot of readers, understandably. There's 2 ways that they're confusing. The first is that it's a percentage increase as if we didn't already have a referendum in place. The reality here in MSD Warren Township is that we have a referendum, and it's our intent to continue having a referendum. The second confusing part about it is it's speaking to a percentage increase to the school district, but we're one piece of the property tax pie. So property taxpayers pay taxes to the school system, but also to the county and the municipality and several other types of local government. The bottom line for our taxpayers is, for an average home here in MSD Warren Township, which is valued at just a little under $150,000, the impact is going to be $4.79 per month due to the referendum rate. That comes out to about 16 cents per day. We have a tax calculator on our website, and if there are folks that want to see what the impact will be on their property, we certainly encourage them to go to our website and they can type in a property value. It'll run the calculation for them.
Okay. So when I go to the ballot on May 2nd and I see the 29.4% referendum property tax increase, I just need to keep in mind it's truly more like 5% increase.
Right. It's not a 29.4% increase. It's more like a 5% increase, or again, for our average homestead, a little bit under $5 per month.
Okay. Wonderful. Dr. Hanson, we don't necessarily want to think negatively about the upcoming referendum, but what happens if the referendum doesn't pass in May?
Yeah, so we have the referendum for 8 years. So the good news is we do have some 4 years remaining on our current referendum. That will challenge us, though, to look at what we're using our current referendum for, what we're using ESSER dollars for. Our use is for the non-negotiables, the essentials of running a high-quality, safe school district. Matt mentioned the safety and security, transportation, student learning, technology, and the staff piece. So that money has to come from somewhere. If the referendum doesn't pass, we'll really have to look at our budget, and that domino effect of where we have to cut that revenue will have to take place.
Okay, final question for you, Dr. Hanson. Thank you for the information about the upcoming referendum. What do you recommend for those who are interested in learning more about the referendum or want to become more involved in the process?
Yeah, our approach to this, as it was the last time we ran a referendum, is to provide as much information and transparency as we can. So we encourage our taxpayers, our voters, our families, our community, go to our website. We're posting updated information on the referendum each week, each month. They can contact Matt or I if they have questions. We're happy to meet with people individually, meet with people in the neighborhood, or we're going to be hosting some community forums as well. So we would invite our community members to attend and participate in those as well.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate your time today. Thank you for answering my questions.
Yeah, thank you.